everyone, and welcome to another Patreon request here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. I'm here with my buddies Snark and Brennen, and we're here to talk about our top 5 movies we like to watch at Halloween. This was Brennan's idea, so Brennen, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good. I might have an abscess in my tooth, so.
Oh no!
But I don't sound too bad, so hopefully my speech is coming off clear.
It is.
Okay, good.
Doing good.
Snark, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Maybe a little sleepy, but I'm doing good. Ready for the Halloween season, as it were, as ready as I ever get, which is not much at all.
Yeah, same here. Don't get very excited for Halloween personally, but we will. I do enjoy watching some of these movies at Halloween time, though. So it's a good topic that Brennan came up with here. We are releasing this on Halloween, so happy Halloween to everyone who is watching. And Brennan's a ghost.
Oh.
All right, we're going to start off with our honorable mentions. I will start off with mine. I have 3 of them, or 4 of them. The Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my honorable mentions.
Sure.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of my honorable mentions. Coco, the Pixar movie, is one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice.
Nice.
Indeed.
Snark, what are your honorable mentions?
Beetlejuice almost made the cut for me. I was like, maybe, and I was like, I'll hold off on that. I thought somebody might mention it. I'm glad you mentioned it, at least for an honorable mention. Now I'm a TV guy, so I just put some TV episodes that I like watching around here. First off, of course, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. 2, in particular, Halloween and Fear Itself. Fear Itself is very good.
Halloween. I just watched that the other day.
It's a great episode.
I'm rewatching Buffy right now. So.
Attaboy.
We will be rewatching Buffy very soon on this channel. So
yep.
Stay tuned.
Hey, if you want to do a review of it, let me know.
You will be invited, sir. Don't worry about that. A couple community episodes, epidemiology and horror fiction in 7 spooky steps.
I just watched epidemiology the other day also.
It's like, you get it.
What's going on here?
Brennan gets it. and then I was just going to say any of the Halloween heist episodes from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. How you didn't see that?
I've never seen any of those, I don't think so.
How dare you? All right. Brennan.
I didn't watch Community. Brennan, what are your honorable mentions?
Well, in addition to the one Snark mentioned from Buffy and Community, also the it just came to my mind, but the Netflix series Midnight Mass.
Ooh, sure.
Is really good, and if anybody hasn't seen it, check it out. It's incredible. Now, as far as movies, the 1989 Batman by Tim Burton.
That's a good one.
It's an honorable mention. I would also include the animated Disney Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, deep cut there. And those are my honorable mentions, yes.
Nice.
All right. Let's start with my number 5 then. And my number 5 is the 1993, kind of classic, Hocus Pocus. I loved this movie when I was a kid. I watched it all the time. The Sanderson sisters were very scary to me when I was 11. Not so scary to me now, but I do still enjoy watching this movie. I think it's a fun time. It's a good sort of way to scare the children that watch it, but it's still entertaining when you're an adult. So my number 5 is Hocus Pocus.
Did you like the sequel?
I haven't seen the sequel yet.
Okay. I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen Hocus Pocus at all.
I'm going to make a confession here.
Oh, boy.
I saw the movie once, and I didn't like it.
Oh, my goodness.
Totally fine.
So I'm going to have to rewatch it and see maybe if I do like it this time.
Yeah. I
So
think there's a bit of nostalgia in it for me for why I
Well,
like
yeah,
the
there's
movie so
always
much.
that.
But yeah,
yeah,
But it's good fun. It's definitely a product of our childhoods.
oh
yeah.
yeah,
I think my entire list is just filled with nostalgia for me or whatever. So my number 5, the only true, I'd say, horror movie on this list,
Oh
and
boy.
of all the slasher movies and all the slasher franchises or whatever, this is the one that got me scared the most, and I still feel uncomfortable, even though the main protagonist is only on screen for about 7 minutes. He's not on it for very long at all. It takes place in Springfield, Ohio, and it follows
Mm.
the adventures of a young Nancy Thompson, whose parents got together with a bunch of other neighborhood parents and burned alive the local child murderer Freddy Krueger. A Nightmare
Mm-hmm.
on Elm Street is an absolute classic and still
Yeah.
scares the willies out of me. See, I cleaned it up just for you, Adelia.
I have never seen Nightmare on Elm Street,
I'm
but
not
I did watch a
surprised.
documentary about the making of Nightmare on Elm Street with Video Drew once, and that
Nice.
was pretty interesting. I hate horror movies like with a passion that I can't even describe. So
Mhm.
I'm never going to watch this, but I'm glad that a true horror movie did make it on someone's list.
Mhm.
Well, it's a good one. It really is. I just watched it for the first time a couple of years ago.
You'll never be able to finish your Johnny Depp rewatch series without watching it.
Yep. Yep. Johnny Depp getting eaten by a bed.
And
Well,
then
it's
blood.
good. I think that Robert Englund is excellent as Freddy Krueger. I think he really is this is before he got kind of campy in the other movies.
I don't even know if he talks in this one. I can't remember if he talks at all.
He does. This one though is
Just a
just
little tiny bit.
scary.
Yeah.
This one is just scary, and I like that.
Yeah. Okay,
All
Brennan.
right. So, yeah, Brennan, what's your number 4
5.
4,
or 5? Excuse me.
5.
Number 5.
Another 5 is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Whoa, nice.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, that is my favorite of the Harry Potter films. I think the fact that you've got actors like Gary Oldman and David Thewlis and even Timothy Spall, and then of course you get Michael Gambon, the late Michael Gambon,
R.I.P. R.I.P.
who was a great actor, stepping in the shoes of Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, I think that one of the things that I like about it is the music. So John Williams did the first 3 Harry Potter films. And the first 2, the scores are very similar. In Prisoner of Azkaban, he took the Shakespearean Something Wicked This Way Comes
Mm-hmm.
and made an entire score based on that. So not only do I think it's one of John Williams' best scores, I think Alfonso Cuarón's direction is extraordinary
Yep.
in the movie.
Yes.
And I think of all the Harry Potter films, this one I think is almost a masterpiece, in my opinion. And the reason I like it at Halloween is, it's got that very dark, magical stuff going on. It's also like, it's the Empire Strikes Back of Harry Potter. It
Yep.
takes the series in a darker direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely adore it. And I don't always watch it just at Halloween. Sometimes I watch it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it really feels like a great Halloween film to me.
100%.
Absolutely.
It was a great
My
book too.
favorite.
My favorite book. My favorite of the movies. I was on a list on a different channel about all the Harry Potter movies. Somehow that movie came in second. I was enraged. It's out there somewhere.
Came in second?
I would
How
I
dare
would be
they?
enraged at that too because this is also my favorite Harry Potter movie.
How dare
It's
they put it in
impeccably
second?
You got that
yeah,
right.
it's impeccably directed by Alfonso Cuarón. It's the
Mhm.
only one that I feel like has actual the director's flair in it. The others just feel like they went very much by what the studio wanted. There's a lot of really interesting stuff in this movie. Gary Oldman is fantastic as Sirius Black. Great choice, Brennan. Great choice.
Now, David Thewlis, I think, is excellent as Lupin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's excellent as Lupin as well. It's really good, really great choice, Brennan.
Chocolate
Okay,
helps. It really helps.
Chocolate helps.
It
It
really
really
helps.
helps.
Okay, my number 4 is The Addams Family from 1991.
Yay!
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I love the Addams Family TV show so much because I grew up watching Nick at Night and all the old TV shows. This and the Munsters. There's not been a good Munsters movie, or it probably would have made this list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there has been a good Addams Family movie, and it's this one. I really loved all the performances in this. Christina Ricci as Wednesday is fantastic.
Perfect.
So great. I just love this movie so much, and it's a great time of year to watch it.
Yeah, you know what? I should have included that in my honorable mentions. Either Addams Family or Addams Family Values.
Yeah, the sequel's almost as good.
But
It really
Addams
holds up,
Family is
too.
great because you're right. Christina Ricci, perfect. I think that the late Raul Julia was amazing. It's Gomez, and I think that what's her name? Why am I drawing a blank? Morticia. Angelica Houston. Angelica Houston was born to play Morticia.
Yes.
I mean, there's just no question there. And then, of course, you have the great Christopher Lloyd as Thester. Christopher Lloyd was actually at FanX that I went to. I didn't meet him, but he was there during the convention.
That's cool.
Yep, but yeah, no, great choice. I mean, the Addams Family is just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. Your number 4, Snark.
My number 4. Now, I said I only had one horror movie on it. This one, I think, was supposed to be, but it failed. It failed spectacularly, though. It's one of the worst movies you'll ever see, but so bad, it's enjoyable.
Uh-oh.
When you put together, guys,
I think I know where you're going.
A stolen piece of Stonehenge, taking tiny chips out, put into masks. Then you got robots filled with goo, catchy jingles such as 8 More Days Till Halloween, Silver Shamrock's all of a sudden being part of Halloween. Yes, and Sam Hain and a witch, which is a guy, so it should have been a Season of the Warlock, but whatever. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch is bananas. The protagonist is a drunken doctor / detective. This thing made no sense at all. It made no sense. And he was a huge womanizer. He's a terrible person. But this is your hero. Yeah, and just a jingle over there. And so like there's these masks. There's Silver Shamrock is the company who's selling the most popular masks at Halloween time. There's only 3 of them. There's a skull. His name is like they all have names like Mr. Bone Jangles. I forget there's some weird Irish name for the jack-o'-lantern, and then the witch's name is just Midge. So all these kids have these things. Now the trick is these guys are up to no good over at Silver Shamrock because they want to use these things to possess kids and turn them into snakes and bugs and stuff like that, and then kill their families. So the stakes are super high. And I can't tell you who wins in the end, but I think you can not guess.
It isn't a very good movie, but you know what? It was interesting to watch.
It's interesting. If you ever wanted a gateway into horror movies, Adelia, that's the one, because there is nothing scary about it whatsoever, even though they tried.
It's just completely bonkers.
There's no Michael Myers. They decided they're going to do an anthology with it, and just
even though it's set in the universe of Michael Myers, he doesn't even show up.
They have commercials for Halloween.
Instead, the bad guy's this old Irish guy. The bad guy's this old Irish guy.
Yeah, it's
strange. It sounds very strange.
Very strange. Yes, Stonehenge and computers. Oh my word.
Yeah, like they're just nonchalantly mentioning a big huge piece of Stonehenge was stolen. And it was taken to the Silver Shamrock place.
And they were hooking it to a supercomputer. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, but the jingle's
it's completely Don't even go there. It'll get stuck in my head all day.
That's true.
It sounds insane.
I'll sing it after.
Okay, Brendan, what is your number 4?
Number 4 is Ridley Scott's Alien
Ooh, yes.
from 1978, 79.
Mm-hmm.
A masterpiece of horror. It's a haunted house / slasher film in space.
Yeah.
But by the way, no one can hear you scream.
Can't hear nothing out there.
So you've got this, your typical setup of this group of people that slowly get picked off by a alien, and there's some ideas about corporate greed and corporate disregard for human life. You've got some great actors like Ian Holm, Tom Skerritt, and of course, in her first major film role, Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley.
The best.
Who has become one of the greatest heroes in all of cinema. And the alien itself, the xenomorph, is one of the coolest designs of any alien. Must pay tribute to Boris Badejo, who plays the alien.
Ooh.
He's a tall, skinny African fellow. And just an absolutely brilliant in terms of the look. The spaceship looks like it's all beat up and run down and like truckers in space. Which, oddly enough, was inspired by Star Wars. The look of everything looking used.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that these guys aren't soldiers, they're not scientists, they're just workers.
Yep.
So they have no idea how to deal with the alien threat. Featuring some truly scary moments. One of the most famous scary moments in film history. And of course, also we must mention the great John Hurt.
Yep.
Well, apparently horrible things happen in
He had a tummy
every
ache.
movie. So basically, the Thor Sean Bean died in everything. John Hurt died in everything, apparently.
Yeah.
And of course, a great score by Jerry Goldsmith. And excellent direction by Ridley Scott in his second feature film.
Oh.
So Alien is, to me, a horror classic that combines sci-fi and horror and does it, I think, better than any film ever has.
Maybe I'll watch that this weekend. I haven't watched it in a while. I love it. I've seen Aliens a bunch since then. I haven't watched the first Alien in a long time.
Adelia, have you seen Alien?
No.
Okay.
No one should be surprised by this. I don't
not
do
that scary.
horror movies
Well,
like
maybe
this.
it is.
I just can't with stuff like this. But I have heard it's very good, and it's obviously a classic. Ellen Ripley as a character is one of the most badass female characters that has ever existed. So it's a great choice, Brennan. But yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's my number 4.
All right. My number 3 is 1984's Ghostbusters.
Yay!
This is just such a fun movie to watch. I love the tree for Ghostbusters. I love the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. There's just so much fun stuff in this movie, and the proton pack and weapons and just so much fun stuff. And had to make my list, so I put it at number 3.
So many lines in that movie I still use to this day. Once in a while, I'll just come up behind my buddy Dan, jump up, slap him in the back of the head, and tell him I was right in the middle of something, Ray. I still remember the day I went to see that movie. It's etched in my memories from when I was 10 years old. Yeah, Ghostbusters is an absolute classic. That's a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, what a great movie. Great cast. I mean, an incredible cast.
Yeah.
Of actors. It's just an extraordinary ensemble and just a great comedy horror film.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
All right, Snark, what's your number 3?
I was going to also say Cats and Dogs Living Together, mass hysteria. Number 3, from 1993. So I think we'll notice that it's all around like our like 93. I guess I was a little older and stuff like that. But it's a movie I don't know how many people still think about, and not a horror movie at all. It's a movie about a couple of escaped cons who wind up in a rural farmhouse, end up assaulting and then kidnapping the son. And the I guess what is it? The ranger that's after him is Clint Eastwood. One of the cons is Kevin Costner. The boys Jehovan, and when Kevin Costner finds out he's never had Halloween or anything like that, he decides he's going to show him. The movie's called A Perfect World, and it comes not it's a western. It's basically a western, but set in like the 1950s or something like that. It's one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies. It's probably my favorite Kevin Costner movie. It's either that or Revenge. I don't know. They go back and forth, but I don't think too many people talk about this film. At least not enough. So I was going to make sure that I put it on my list because it's Halloween centric.
I've never even heard of this film.
It's fantastic.
Neither have I.
Clint Eastwood, I believe, directed this one as well. This is coming the year after Unforgiven, I think, 93. I think Unforgiven was 92.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so I didn't want to say too much about it because I was sure that nobody's seen it.
Okay. Have to check it out then, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan, what is your number 3?
Number 3 is Beetlejuice.
Nice.
I mean, Beetlejuice is a comedy classic from Tim Burton. Tim Burton actually has quite a few films that could have made this list.
Yeah.
I'm watching Edward Scissorhands right now.
Jeez.
But Beetlejuice is just good fun with obviously the great Harry Belafonte musical numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you have the very young Winona Ryder. You have some very familiar faces like Michael Keaton the year before he played Batman. And you can understand why when they announced he'd be playing Batman, that everyone was like,
yeah.
Are you kidding? Not that guy.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice, of course, he himself only appears on screen for a few minutes. But when he does, of course, he steals it. And but a lot of the other humorous silliness in the afterlife and in dealing with Catherine O'Hara's character, who's trying to redesign everything in these horrible art installations, and Otho and a couple other great characters, and it's just good fun and just some of the most memorable moments in film with the Dale at the dinner table moment, and then the whole saying Beetlejuice 3 times.
I was wondering. I was trying to count how many times you had said it. I think now that's right.
And what's interesting is you probably saw the picture, but when I was at FanX, my favorite costume I saw, and I took a picture with her, was a very deep cut because it was an animated show based on Beetlejuice that came out in the 90s. Early 90s. And there was a girl dressed as Lydia. That's Winona Ryder's character from the cartoon.
Yeah.
So I had to get a picture with her. But
nice.
Really just a great fun film with so many memorable moments and just one of the kookiest characters on screen you'll ever see. And Tim Burton definitely with his second film, I think this was.
After Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
After he was Big Adventure. Really showing what kind of films he was going to make.
Yeah, good one.
So Beetlejuice is just so much fun.
Yep, the handbook for the recently deceased. I think Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis were so good. Yeah, I love that movie. I remember sneaking into a drive-in in the trunk of my buddy's car. Go see that movie.
No, it's a fantastic movie. Great choice, Brennan. Great choice. So my number 2 is more of a TV special than a movie, but it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
There you go. There you go.
I am obsessed with Peanuts and all the characters and everything. I own all of the holiday specials on DVD.
Did you
Like
see the Peanuts
I
movie
love
that Blue
this.
Sky made?
I did. I thought it was really charming.
My brother-in-law actually worked on that film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown is my favorite of the holiday specials. I watch it every year. I watch it every year on Halloween. I'll be watching it this year on Halloween. And it's so charming. It's a very simple story, but I love these characters so much, and I had to put it on my list. It was number one on my list for a while, and then I went, no, it's not going to be number one. It's going to be number two.
Confession, I have not seen it yet.
You should watch it, Brendan.
Yeah, where is it available to stream somewhere? Do you know?
I believe it's on Apple TV Plus, but it's usually on TV at Halloween. I don't know if it's going to be on TV this year, but
you would probably be able to find it on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it's on there.
I do love the Christmas on Christmas, so the Halloween one should be fun.
Yeah, I believe they air it on like ABC on or close to Halloween. Don't hold me to that though.
It used to be a big deal because you never got cartoons at night when you were a kid. So right around Halloween, we'd always have like on CBS or something like that. You'd have like this guy playing the bongos or then this thing or whatever saying special presentations. Like you always knew it was going to be cartoons. So I grew up loving that one as well. I really hope that you start yelling at people, you blockheads soon, Adelia. I think that was
blockhead.
Yeah, no. That's not gonna happen.
Adelia's too sweet to say things like that.
Well, we'll see.
Ferris was mad at me yesterday because I don't know how to banter, and I was like, I don't. So there's that. All right, Snark, what's your number two?
Okay, number two. Number two, I included because it has my favorite Halloween scene of any movie, and it's also the movie I've seen in the theater the most. I think I saw it 7 times in the theaters. The first couple of times I was really excited. The last bunch of times I was just an excuse for the adults in my family to go see what they considered a children's movie. It was from 1982's E.T. and the scene I'm thinking of is when they took E.T. out under the sheet saying it was Gertie, and I can't remember the older brother's name or whatever, but he had a fake knife in his head and he going ouch, and then having to put his hand down and stuff like that.
And then of course E.T. sees Yoda
starts saying home. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, also saying thank you or whatever when they say you all look so cute. Just thank you. So good. Yeah, I couldn't put E.T. further back than some of these or whatever because of E.T. is an absolute classic. So E.T. number 2 for me, and totally rewatchable. I rewatched it last year.
That's an excellent choice. I had not considered that for Halloween. The trick or treating scene is a classic scene.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
I mean,
I didn't see it until I was like.
Did you freeze on it?
Yeah.
Did you freeze?
I thought you were just thinking about it really hard.
No. My internet's being weird.
Wait, what you're saying? You didn't see it till when?
I didn't see it till I was like 22.
Yeah.
And a great movie. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I tell you, I ugly cry at the end of that movie like every time.
I'll be right here, Brennan.
E.T. Yeah, the Steven Spielberg, I mean, is a genius. There's a reason why he is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And what was interesting about the film is that it's centers on kids. It's very Stranger Things kind of feel. I like that. But yeah, the Halloween, that's that's definitely makes it a Halloween movie in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
All right, Brendan, what is your number 2?
Number 2 is Mel Brooks's Young Frankenstein.
Yay!
Nice
This
choice.
is a classic. I mean,
Mhm.
taking all the old Universal black and white monster movies and making like a parody of them. With, of course, Gene Wilder, who's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
With great performances from Marty Feldman as Igor. No, it's Igor. And then, of course, you have Cloris Leachman as Frau Blucher.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you have Terry Garr. You
Very good.
have Kenneth Mars as the police inspector. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant. And, of course, Peter Boyle as the monster. Did the putting on the Ritz, which is one of the funniest
Classic scene.
moments. That there are so many quotable lines and memorable scenes in that movie. It's just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a close call for me, but it's tied for me as Mel Brooks' best film
Ooh.
with the producers, the original producers. But I think Young Frankenstein is definitely a must-watch Halloween classic that is so utterly hilarious.
Yeah.
With classic lines like "I'll be normal" and all the just very silly nonsense and Wild Booker, nay. Yeah, just so much fun, and just one of those just makes you laugh yourself silly, and definitely is a great callback to the old classic black and white horror films.
Mm-hmm. Mel Brooks made two of the funniest movies of all time in the same year. He
It's true, he did.
put Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles out in the same
In
year.
1974. Yeah.
Year I was born.
Yep. It was a good year for film.
No, it was a fantastic year. Come on.
I've never seen Young Frankenstein.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
one you can see. That's one you'd be
Yeah,
fine
Okay,
this is-
Julia,
this
we need
is
to
what
watch
I can
along.
with.
Yeah.
Okay, Julia, we need to watch along on the channel then.
Ooh.
All right. Well, we'll see about doing a watch along for Young Frankenstein.
Mhm.
But it sounds very interesting, so I will watch it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to our number ones, let's take a moment to hear from Justin about what's going on with the channel.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
That's patreon.com/LGR_network. There's a link in the description of this video, or if you're listening on the audio feed, in the description as well. And thank you to all the patrons like Brennen. And if you want to have one of these shows done like this one with something that you want to force two members of the crew to talk about, then you can do that by joining the Patreon. So check it out.
And as a patron, I could say it's worth it. It's worth it.
Thank you, Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my number one is a 2013 Jim Jarmusch film called Only Lovers Left Alive.
Oh,
It stars Tom Hiddleston and Tilda Swinton as vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hiddleston is a musician living in Detroit, and he's depressed and wants to kill himself with a wooden bullet. Tilda Swinton is living in Tangier. She is his wife. They haven't seen each other in a long time. She senses something is wrong with Adam and goes to find him. And it's just a really interesting movie that I watch every year at Halloween since it came out. It's 10 years now. I've watched this movie around Halloween time, and I love it so much. So that's my number one.
and Jim Jarmusch is a very interesting filmmaker. I've not seen this film.
No.
I've heard of it, but it sounds very intriguing.
As soon as you said the movie, I was like, Tom Hiddleston. I get it.
I do love Tom Hiddleston as an actor,
Mhm.
but this movie is very good. I do like Jim Jarmusch films for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I'm trying to think which is the one. Is it something about cigarettes? Was it? I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I watched a few of them with my buddy Stu, and yeah, they're not the usual type of movies that I'll watch.
No.
But I always enjoy them. I always enjoy when I see them. Okay, number
Snark,
one.
your number one.
Number one, guys. Number one. It's the best. I like. All apologies to your choice as your number one favorite movie. What I consider the best vampire movie ever made. Dracula Dead and Loving It. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that one. It's from 1987. A Joel Schumacher film. Well before he put nipples on Batman.
Yeah.
Starring Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patrick. Before Kiefer Sutherland's fiance ran off with Jason Patrick. Yet somehow they remained friends. It contains scenes such as there's a scene with a shirtless bodybuilding guy playing a saxophone. And it lasts for 3 minutes, and it's amazing. The Lost Boys, the 1987's Lost Boys, maybe the vampire movie I've seen. I must have seen it 100 times. I must have seen this movie 100 times. My brother had a burnt, like he taped it off of one of the movie channels or whatever. We used to watch it all the time. Fantastic soundtrack. Has one of the owners of the Atlanta Hawks in it. Jamie Gertz, of course. I was a big fan. Jason Patrick, of course, goes on to do Speed 2. Lost Boys is better. Kiefer Sutherland goes on to do Designated Survivor. Guess what? Lost Boys is better. So it's the apex of their career, if you ask me. Sure, they've done things like 24 and stuff like that, but not as good. Not as good as the Lost Boys. I will. Bill S. Preston is a vampire. Like, I don't know. There's the two Corys. The only movie worth watching with the two Corys in it, and Corey Feldman was amazing in this movie.
I have to admit, I have not seen it. I've heard people talk about how good it is. So one of these days I'll have to get around to watching it.
Yeah, terrific. Just the sound, like Echo and the Bunnymen doing "People Are Strange," so good. It's so good. The "Cry Little Sister" song, it's fantastic. It's it's pure late '80s movie making for me, but it's late '80s how they got it right. They just got it right, and it's a timeless movie. It holds up. You can watch it any time of the year, but especially at Halloween.
All right, sounds good, Snark. Brennan, what is your number one?
Well, there's an honorable mention I forgot to mention.
Okay.
2022's The Batman.
Sure.
With Robert Pattinson, showing that he can be more than he's still emo, but he's not
he doesn't sparkle in this one.
Yeah, no, he doesn't sparkle in this one.
He sparkles behind a mask.
But that one, because it's set at Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and the visuals are very much inspired by fall season, rainy, lot of leaves blowing everywhere. But it is quite excellent. I think this is a movie that got delayed because of the pandemic, and it was worth the wait because it ended up being, I think, extraordinary with great performances, particularly from Zoe Kravitz and Rob Pattinson, and also it's a really great score by Michael Giacchino. So I just wanted to shout that out because I think it really, because it's based on the Long Halloween comic, and it takes place at Halloween, and I have to include that.
Sure.
So my number one is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, even though he didn't direct it. It's directed by the great Henry Selick, who directed Coraline and James and the Giant Peach. This movie is a classic for a reason. The songs, I think a lot of people know. The imagery of Jack Skellington has become iconic. There's a lot of very gothic inspiration that came from this movie. You have the great voice cast. You have the great songs. And just a unique atmosphere of this stop motion animation in this really creative world that you can do things in animation with stop motion and other types of animation that you really couldn't do in live action. And what they're able to accomplish with this movie is extraordinary. And it is one of the greatest stop motion, it probably is the greatest stop motion film of all time. And just as far as Halloween goes, even though it does have a lot of Christmas in it, it's the perfect movie for Halloween time because you're getting into the holidays. And as I said, some incredible songs and a great score by the great Danny Elfman.
Mhm.
And I think it came out at just the right time. My generation definitely grew up with it, and it really has established itself as an all-time Hollywood and Halloween classic.
I have This Is Halloween in my head right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie. Absolutely fantastic. Great choice, Brennan.
It really is just like the quintessential Halloween film, I think, in so many ways. And also, I love that a lot of bands have done covers of the songs. Evanescence, Amy Lee, she sang a cover of the one song that Sally sings. It's just great out the influence it's had on culture and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And people
absolutely.
still use it as Halloween decorations, even 30 years later.
I have a Nightmare Before Christmas sweater with Jack Skellington on it.
Yay!
I wear it every year.
I mean, 30 years later, it's still going strong.
Yep.
Doesn't feel that old.
I know.
If it's 30 years
I
old, how old am
remember
I?
seeing the trailer for it. I remember seeing the trailer. Oh my goodness. Well,
Well, all right. That was our top 5 movies we like to watch at Halloween time. Brennan, thank you very much for the request.
You're
Where
welcome.
can people find you?
You can find me on X, though I'm still going to call it Twitter.
Sure.
At Brennen Mystical. You can find me on Blue Sky and Facebook. Brennen Marr, you can find Threads and Instagram at Brennen Blue. And you can find me on YouTube on my podcast, Page Turners They Were Not, on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
It's a fantastic podcast. You guys should really check it out.
Well, thank you.
Snark, where can people find you?
You can find me here on the good old Let's Get Ready Network. We've been talking season 2 of Loki lately. You can find me on the weekend with that Brazilian guy with Let's Get Ready Network After Snark, where we get to talk about. We had a thing where what we should be doing is just talking about anything, but we've been talking about things lately, and it seems to go on forever. So let's nip that in the bud and just talk about whatever we want to talk about. But we'll see. Also on the highlights with yours truly, meaning you, Adelia. Which way am I pointing? That way. With the starting 11 Tuesdays on the highlights. That's our English Premier League podcast, and where we both cheer for Chelsea with all our hearts.
No, we don't. We definitely don't.
Bless them.
You can find me on Starting 11, as Snark said, Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific on the Highlights channel. There's a link to that in the description of this episode. And you can also find me on the LGR Entertainment channel with Ferris every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific, doing the open table. We've had a little bit of a hiatus because of illness and other things, but we're coming back this past week. It'll be this past week by the time this comes out with an episode. So we're just debating fan theories and whether they are a good thing or a bad thing. So check out the replay of that. And until next time, everyone, we're out.